We have a very exciting session today with Anil and Naresh here. Merisis, as you know, we do this every alternate Thursday, this knowledge series, and we try to bring topics which are prevalent and relevant in the scenarios. This is one topic we had not covered earlier and came through many requests, and this is also the right time for because most of the people look at their insurance requirements at this stage, especially on the investment side. uh, and you anyways continue to have your health and general requirements that continue. So we'll try to make it as interactive as possible. Uh, like always, with a quick brief about Merisis for people who are joining for the first time. Merisis is an investment banking firm which has been there for last 15 years. Naresh, if you can move the slide. Been there for last 15 years. We have done more than $1 billion worth of transactions so far. 50% of them happen to be M&As, and the transactions that we have done would be close to about $3 billion. Fairly well entrenched in the tech based ecosystem, whether it's fintech, health tech, transport, technology, enterprise. We work a lot of, I'll not say startup, but growth stage companies on that side. We also have our own Cat 1 Angel Fund, where we look at companies that are in the growth stage and try to give investors options to invest in that particular exciting opportunities. Uh, that fund has had some exciting times. We've already had one exit at about 2.5x, and that fund still has some residual life of 4 to 5 years. We are doing another one tomorrow, which is an exciting investment opportunity through the fund. Merisis Wealth is the most recent of all. So, under Wealth, the investment side looks at both the funds and our own PMS. And overall, we look at advisory and third party products, mostly talking about alternatives and private investment, because that's what we understand given our heritage and background of investment banking. So, we're fairly forward looking from that perspective. We also play out on the information asymmetry that we get because of looking at both industries and companies from a growth lens, from a future growth lens, and that's played out very well. Happy to also share that our PMS is amongst the top 10 as far as PMS Bazaar is concerned, and so we've been consistently delivering to what we've been envisaging and propagating. We are backed by a very strong team. So you see all of us here who come from very enriched backgrounds. Akshay looks at our fund management on the equity side. Arun looks for the wealth on the business side. And Fazal is founder or one of the co-founders for Meris, and he guides us on an overall basis from time to time at the strategic level. Today's panelists would be Anil and Naresh. Just to give you a brief about Naresh, Naresh has been a CFA. Naresh, if you could change the slide, please. Naresh is a CFA with more than 18 years of experience, fairly well entrenched both academically and practically in this wealth universe. He's worked with marquee organizations like Sanchart, HDFC, and has also worked in India and abroad. He would be the moderator for today's session. We are joined by Anil as the expert here. I'll hand over to now Naresh to both introduce Anil and take the session ahead. Naresh and Arun and Anil would be spearheading this. We will have some interesting polls and interactive activities, and followed by your Q&As. So, Naresh, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Richard, for the kind introduction, and welcome to everyone to our webinar today. I'll start off with introducing our panelist for the evening, which is Mr. Anil Kodani. Welcome, Anil.
Thank you, Naresh.
So Anil is the chairperson for Mark Ripa Insurance Broking Private Limited. He has almost 16 years plus experience in the insurance domain. He's worked with companies like Care Health Insurance, was the zonal head just prior to starting this 2014 to 2025. He's handled almost 500 plus employees, 50,000 plus individual advisors while he was at Care Health Insurance. Prior to which he was also with Niva Bupa as the broking head for Mumbai between 2010 and 2014. He's managed big partners in the B2B channel, for example, names like Bajaj Capital, Anand Rathi, NG Insurance Broking, and a few more. So the reason Anil started Mark Ripa was he always dreamt of going the entrepreneurial way, and he began this just last year. So February 25. It's only been 1 year now, and happy anniversary to Mark Ripa for that,
Thank you, Naresh.
completing a
Thank
successful year as an entrepreneur. Um, so today, Mark Ripa operates in Mumbai. When I say Greater Mumbai as well, Thane, Bhopal, Pune, and other fewer smaller markets as well. Some of the notable achievements of Anil is that he's also managed celebrities like film stars, for example, Hrithik Roshan, cricketers like Rohit Sharma, producer directors like Mr. Ramesh Sippy. He's also sold insurance to these celebrities, well-known ones. And also, more importantly, is that he's been part of thousands of health claims and satisfied most of the stakeholders, including clients and distributors. Today, he leads a team of 2,000 plus distributors and 100 plus team size and market power broking, which is right now rapidly growing. So, honored to have you with us, Anil.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you, Naresh.
Okay. So, I think let's dive into our webinar right away, given that
Yes.
we've done the introductions right now and kind of which is also set in the expectations today in terms of what we are planning to cover in our webinar in terms of what is our objective. So I think I'll start off with the first thing, Anil, the most fundamental
Yes.
question. And in the insurance industry is no different from the entire wealth management industry. And we, wealth managers, advisors, insurance advisors, etc., tend to use a lot of jargon when we are selling to our clients. Now, for someone who is a layperson, what do you think would be the most important points they should think of or maybe remember before choosing an insurance? Cutting through all the jargon and all through all of that. If I were to simplify this to my audience, what do you think are the key factors which one should consider before buying insurance?
Yeah. So first of all, good evening to all uh, respected clients and prospect clients. And it is my pleasure to interact with you digitally. And big thanks to Naresh ji for giving a great introduction of mine. So big thanks to that. So the most important question which you have asked for points to be remembered while buying insurance. We as Indians make a biggest mistake while buying insurance is we give very less time in filling up the proposal form and giving the details of our own health and past histories, and which makes our insurance policy in the dark stage. So, as a client, as a layman, we must at least invest 10 to 15 minutes while filling up the proposal form, while giving our past histories to our, sales executive, so that he puts in every detail in our proposal, and we are safe with any kind of non-disclosures. So, most important point to keep it in our mind is that we have to spend at least 10 to 15 minutes, which most of us do not do. We just tell our advisor or our sales executive to fill in everything and just give us a policy document. So, which is the biggest mistake that sometimes makes sales executive to click on no, no, no on all the questions, which should not be the case because he doesn't know everything about us. So we as an individual knows most of the things about ourselves. We only know. We need to disclose to our sales executive. So outcome here of the question is we need to invest 10 to 15 minutes with our advisor or sales executive, giving our internal details, which includes our pre-existing diseases, our medications, our past, any kind of hospitalization, any kind of fracture, any kind of temporary medication we had for 2 3 months. Sometimes we consider blood pressure is not a disease. Sometimes we consider diabetes is not a disease because most of the people, 30 40% Indians are suffering, but those are the diseases ideally which we need to disclose. So answer is we need to be very cautious while buying health insurance or life insurance.
Sure. Great. Thanks. I think, great pointers there, Anil, and I completely agree with you. I think this whole concept of PD or pre-existing diseases is tantamount in the insurance industry at the time of opting for it. So I understand as much details as you can disclose and be transparent about, better for you during the
Yes.
claim experience. Okay. So, Anil, I also noticed that, when we look at your health and term insurance specifically, and within that, we notice that, policy premiums can vary widely between
Yeah.
insurance company to insurance company, and within the same insurance company also for different individuals with the same background, age, etc. Also, at times we notice there could be a kind of bit of disparity between the premiums. Now, I think most of us would love to, minimize our insurance premium outgo. You know, so my question here is, A, how do companies calculate health and term insurance term insurance premiums? That is the first one. And secondly, realistically, is anything, are any steps can be taken by prospective policyholders, to minimize the outgo on these health and term insurance policies? Can they do anything, maybe to show themselves as more healthy, etc.? So, Anil, just, any practical tips from your side, it would be highly appreciated.
Yes, yes. So, let's talk about term insurance first. Premiums in term insurance majorly depend on the age. So, if you want to lower your premium in term insurance, we must buy as early as possible. In our early ages, if we buy, the premium gets locked in. So, in term insurance, premium does not increases as the age increases. So, to lower your premium in term insurance, we should buy as early as possible. That's the bestest thing to do. In health insurance, premiums totally depend on age, your sum insured which you are buying, your past medical history, what kind of medication you are taking, and it varies insurers wise also because the premiums depends on their loss ratios also, their geographical loss ratios, their disease trends which insurers analyze their data. So in health insurance, if you want to lower your premium, you must be healthy. We always say you must buy health insurance when you don't need it, because when will you need it, company might not give or might give with higher premiums. So first we should be buying health insurance when we are fully healthy. Second, it depends on sum insured also how much coverage we are taking. If we are taking a adequate coverage or a higher sum insured, we'll have to pay little higher premiums. Plus, if we have some past histories, for that companies might load some additional premiums. So in health insurance, you can't lower your premiums. It is just you need to be healthy. You need to buy early when you are healthy, and you'll be having very less waiting period. So let's say today somebody is suffering from diabetes or hypertension or thyroid, whatever the common illnesses Indians have. There will be a waiting period also of your insurance of your disease, which stops you to claim for next 3 4 years. If you buy early when you are not suffering from any illness, you are covered from within 2 years of the named elements. So in this way, insurers calculate premium based on these 4 5 categories and the criteria.
Very interesting thoughts here. So, that brings me to the next question. I've noticed that, many insurance companies, when they advertise, they put something on a CSR or claim settlement ratio, in the advertisements very promptly. We've seen some numbers varying from 98.6%, 99.4%, and so on. Many insurance companies, they try to promote or rather advertise their superior claim settlement ratio as one of the metrics which clients can choose. So my question is, how reliable is this metric? That's one. And the second is, what else should clients look at, or other policyholders should look at before choosing the insurance company? You know.
Okay. So see, claim settlement ratio is obviously a very very important metric. Every client should look at it, and everyone looks at it, obviously. But if you see claims settlement ratio always gets published by many different brokers. It is available on IRDA site also. What as an obviously we should look at claim settlement ratio. There is no doubt. It is a good metric, but we must look at the pending claims ratio also. So if you go on IRDA side, you'll find definitely the pending claims, last quarter pending claims, and the time duration of settling a claim. So let's say if I am settling 98 claims out of 100, but if I am settling claims in larger duration, I am taking 2 months, 3 months, 4 months additional time. So that also affects you as a customer. So obviously that data is not publicly available or that data is not easily available, but we must study as a client that and which we can review by asking our friends and some of the well-known people of the industry, that is that insurer which I am selecting has a lower duration or has a larger duration. So duration also matters. uh, Another point, the deduction in the claims. So let's say if there is a claim which is settled, but the deductions are very, very high. Let's say if there's a claim amount of 1 lakh and you're getting hardly 75,000 rupees, but the claim is settled. So that claim settled comes in the settlement ratio, but the deduction does not come in the settlement ratio. So we must look at the deduction part also, which we need to study as a customer. We need to have time to study that, or our advice, or we need to tell our advisor to do some study or come with the data, which helps us in selecting a better insurer.
A very good point here. I think if I can give you maybe an example from a legal parlance, normally we say something like justice delayed is justice denied. I think in
Yeah,
the insurance industry also, claim delayed is claim denied in a way, right? Because it is also
yeah,
important how speedily you process the claim. So that definitely is important. And even other factors, for example, yes, you may have processed the claim, but what percentage of the claim is has been processed? For example, if I put a claim for let's say a lakh and I only get let's say 20,000 hypothetically. Now that will come into my claim settlement ratio, but it will not come that, actually I've not been satisfied in terms of what my claim amount was, etc. So you're right, there's more than which meets the eye. One has to dig deeper. Definitely take the help of your trusted advisor to take a decision over here and explore insurance companies from a holistic lens. So I think great points there, Anil. So I think Anil, this brings me to a very important topic since we spoke about claim settlement. So it is like, one of the common pain points which I've noticed is for many policyholders is that at the moment of truth, when they actually have to take a claim, their claims get rejected and claims get rejected for many kind of reasons. In fact, people have to really undergo a lot of hassle, at that stage because anyway they are, at that time maybe mentally disturbed, a loved one, a family member is perhaps going through some emergency, etc. And at that time, your claim is rejected for various reasons. So, with your rich experience, we would like to understand in what way can policyholders ensure that their claim rejection is minimized, from that aspect. What are the practical things which they can do to uh, improve their claim settlement?
yeah. So good question. Very, very important question, ideally. So one of the most common reason of claims rejection is non-disclosures, which we covered in our first question itself. While we buy any insurance, which is term insurance or health insurance, it is our duty to disclose everything. As we spend very less time while filling up the proposal form, we might miss, or many people miss to disclose their tiny things, right? Which makes an insurer in a position to reject a claim. So, like I said, ki some people considers diabetes or hypertension as they are not diseases, because most of the people have 30-40% people, but that is the mistake. We need to disclose everything. Non-disclosure does not mean a major illness. So some people feel that, if someone has suffered from cancer, or has gone through heart ailment, or some major illness, then only they will disclose. That's the wrong strategy. We must disclose every tiny thing. Even if we have been hospitalized for a normal fracture, we must disclose. If it is a tiny thing, underwriter will also understand. Underwriter means a risk assessor at insurance company, who also understands that this is a tiny thing. There will not be any exclusion for that. So this is one major reason. Second, so like if I am suffering from fever, and if I can be treated on OPD basis, and if I get to a hospital, and if I suggest as a customer, or a doctor suggests, ki, let's get admitted for 2 days or one day, 24 hours, because you have a health policy, you can get admitted for 24 hours and you can make a claim for your insurance policy. So that in some cases that claim also gets rejected because the treatment can be done over OPD, and we are forcefully getting admitted just to get a claim from insurance policy. So those kind of claims also gets rejected, and people face those problems today in today's scenario a lot. So as an individual, we must know that in which situation we need to get admitted. The fever example which I gave, and we have to be very, very careful while disclosing our material facts. Most important reason is to disclose everything. We will be definitely safe. Our advisor will be safe to process our claims. And if you look at so many claims gets rejected, still companies are able to disclose 95%, 97% settlement ratio. So, that's not real ideally because the pending claims data is much more higher than the settlement. So here we need to be very, very cautious while buying insurance. I would say that rather, giving more emphasis on rejection of the claim.
So great insights there again, Anil, and thank you for sharing this with our audience. So I'll now move on to one of the most loved sections of our webinar, which is basically the audience poll. May I request my colleague Shreya just to flash the first poll on the screen, please?
Yeah, sure, Naresh. So I'll be launching the first poll. When choosing an insurance policy, what do you prioritize the least? The premium cost, claim settlement ratio, coverage in AM policy terms, celebrity endorsements, or brand endorsements. So I'd encourage all the audience and attendees to please vote. Yeah, I think the audience has got it correct. As you can see, people are voting for the last option. So here are the results for the poll.
So in fact, there are people, well, mostly people have voted for the last option, that celebrity endorsement and brand ambassador should be something which one should prioritize the least when choosing an insurance policy. Having said that, it is important. If it wasn't, definitely there would not be other answers which have also been picked up. For example, claim settlement ratio or coverage and app. As you can see, the question over here is what should you prioritize the least? And claim settlement ratio is important, coverage and policy terms are important. Definitely those should not be lower prioritized. So thank you for sharing this, Shreya.
Sure.
Okay.
Harish, if I can come in,
Sure.
we've been, speaking about claims, and but as individuals, as people who are not from the industry, we wealth managers still have a little bit of understanding. But most of the clients, most of the customers, the larger, people don't have really an understanding of how claims are processed. So, Mr. Anil, can you explain briefly what's the process of a claim settlement from an insurance company side? Say whether it's a motor claim, we've spoken about health a lot, but what about motor claim? We all have cars, we all drive, we all sometimes get into a small accidents and stuff. So what's the process? Claim, whether it's health claim or a motor claim or anything.
Oh. So I agree. This is the most important question of our webinar. So for any claim, consider this as an emergency, whether it is life or health or motor, that becomes an emergency for us. The
Yeah.
first and foremost work of an insured is to intimate the insurance company that this mishappening has happened. I am intimating you, whether by email or by whatever way insurance companies allow. The most important task is that intimating the company. So in motor claims, it is very, very easy. The nearest network garage connects with you, or you can carry your vehicle to the garage, which is a network garage, and they repair your car, and they directly get money from the insurance company. In term insurance, it is obviously the death claim, in which you need to do the paperwork and all, and that comes into reimbursement only. But intimation is required in that also. If death occurs, you need to intimate to the insurance company immediately. Any family member can intimate. So in this also we sometimes get confused ki who can intimate. So anyone can intimate, any family member, insurance advisor, any friend. Insurance company must be intimated that this mishappening has happened so that they can get into the action. Right? About health claims, uh, so health claims, some people consider their cashless card as their ATM card, which is the wrong myth. That's not an ATM card. It is a card which you can show it to the hospital. If it is a network hospital, they will accept you as a cashless treatment, and they will provide you a form which is called pre-authorization form, in which we need to fill all the details plus all the reports and prescriptions the hospital will definitely have, and they will send it to insurance company. So if it is a network hospital, insurance company will review those papers, those documents with your policy terms, whether the treatment which is being taken care that time is covered or not in the policy document. If it is covered, then they approve the claim, and if it is approved, the money directly goes to the hospital. So this is how cashless treatment happens, or cashless claims get settled. In another case, let's say if you go to a non-network hospital, in which you have to pay first, you have to later then submit all the reports, prescriptions, bills to the insurance company. Same way they will review with your policy terms. If the disease for which you have taken the treatment is covered in the policy, they will approve the claim, and then money directly goes to the insured. So these are two different ways in health: cashless and reimbursement. So in cashless, I again repeat that the cashless card is not a debit card or not an ATM card. That is a card which you can show it to hospital. The process has to be the same.
Sure. No, thanks. I think the most important point I understood was that the claim has to be intimated. So
Yeah.
whether it's a death claim or a motor claim or a health insurance claim, the intimation becomes, and my understanding is this time it's much more easier because you can intimate by mail. You can, even some companies allow WhatsApp intimations as well, right? So even that's possible. So great.
Some more insight if you allow me 30 more seconds
Yeah, yeah,
on
of
this.
course, of course.
In today's time, some companies have blacklisted some hospitals, or you
Oh,
can consider they've made a non-preferred hospital list. So if you go to that hospital and if you get admitted, if you pay the bills, and if you submit all the reports to the insurance company, they might reject the claim, saying that this is a blacklisted hospital or a non-preferred hospital. So in those scenarios, intimation helps a lot. When you intimate an insurance company, they immediately get back to you and say that this is a non-preferred hospital or a blacklisted hospital, and they guide you that you please shift yourself into a different hospital. So you save a lot in that. Otherwise, you might face big way if you get into a blacklisted hospital.
so therefore, before you are getting admitted, it is important to know which one is a network hospital for your insurance policy, which one is not a network hospital.
Yeah.
All right.
So there are three categories: network hospital, non-network hospital, and blacklisted hospital. So we have to avoid getting admitted into a blacklisted hospital. And insurance companies provides those details. So it is not a hidden information. Insurance companies regularly update these details on their websites. We just
Oh,
need to be aware about those things.
all right. Okay. That was a very, very interesting insight. Thanks for that. And so slightly shifting tack now, as we globalize, there are lots of, Indians who travel out, right? And we've also seen lots of cases where people actually go out for treatment of certain critical diseases. And also, people go to US for cancer treatments and stuff. People are traveling for at least months on vacations and all of that. Anything can happen when they are traveling. So do we have any policies which for, people who are traveling, people who want to do medications or treatments outside India, are there any policies which the Indian insurance companies give?
So so normally when we travel, Indian citizen travel sometimes for pleasure, sometimes for business trip. Sometimes people travel for 1 month, 2 months, 10 days, 20 days. It differs, right? So when we travel for 10, 20 days, 30 days, we buy travel insurance,
Okay.
right? which covers you from departure until coming back to India. So whatever time you spend outside, that policy covers you. But that policy does not cover your planned treatment. So let's say if you are going from India to US for a treatment, the travel policy does not cover,
Okay.
right? In that, you need a health insurance, which an Indian insurer can provide you globally. So it was not happening 7, 8 years ago. Now this is available. So some insurers provides global health insurance, but as an individual, we need to be very cautious while buying global health insurance policy from an Indian insurer. There are policies which covers some list of illness only. So there is a list of illness. Let's say there is a list of critical illnesses. There are 20, 25 illnesses. Some policies covers 5, 6 illnesses only. Some policies covers 9 illnesses only, right? So as an individual, and those are also global policies, right? So if you compare those policies with a policy which covers you everything, a policy which covers you globally everything for everything, cashless available across world, will have a higher premium compared to these which I gave you example of some listed illnesses. So as an individual, we should not be confused while comparing the premiums because both the policies are global policies. We need to dig into it, which all coverages are there. And as an individual, if we want to have a global policy, we must buy a policy which covers everything. We should not be covering a list of illness, right? So today, yes, there are policies available which covers you globally for everything, cashless available. Some policies have co-payments, 5, 10%, 20%. Some policies have no co-payment. They pay you full with hardly $100 deductible. Uh, but only thing, these policies are available only for Indian citizens. So these policies are not available for OCI or for NRIs. So that we need to be very careful while interacting with a sales executive.
Okay. So thanks. I think this is a interesting innovation. And talking of innovation, nowadays we hear a lot about data. We've heard cases where data thefts in companies have happened. We've heard cases where even individuals have been impacted. Right? And that's a risk, right? A business runs a risk of cyber frauds. Are there policies which cover cyber security?
Yeah, so cyber insurance is available in India today.
Okay.
And this is available for individuals also and for corporates also, right? So I'll talk from individual perspective first. As an individual, when you are interested to buy a cyber insurance, and if you understand the product details from a sales executive,
Mhm.
after understanding the product, you really feel good because you get to know so many mistakes which you could make without being aware of those things, right?
Okay.
And then if you buy, so let's say someone hacks your Facebook account and ask money from your friends. Someone steal your data which you have in your laptop, or by hacking your laptop or your mobile. Someone hacks your WhatsApp and interacts with people taking your name. So wherever there is a financial loss, this policy covers. So cyber security insurance is available for corporates also, for individuals also. But this policy covers financial loss only. So for an example, you lost the data, or let's say a corporate lost the data. Uh, Insurance company will pay you the cost to restore the data if it is available at a cloud or wherever, whatever way possible. If the data can be restored, insurance companies pays that amount to restore the data. Plus, let's say if someone digitally arrest you, right, and there you lose some financial, some amount you have to pay to them because they have arrested you. That is also covered. So there are several coverages in cyber insurance. To give you one liner answer, yes, cyber insurance is available, and strong suggestion to everyone, including myself, that we must have cyber insurance.
You mentioned that digital arrest itself is a fraud. Government has been making a lot of trying to educate all of us, saying that these are fraud. RBI, Ministry of
Yes.
Home, everybody is trying to make that awareness. But yeah, you still continue to hear lots of cases where especially old people have lost lots of money, by
Yes.
perpetrators. Sure. Uh, yeah, Mr. Anil, again, moving track, there was, some time back, return of premium plans became very, very important, right? Now,
Yeah.
we understand term cover basically is a risk cover which covers the incident of death, right, and gives the benefit to the people who are behind, right?
Yeah.
What about return of premium, right? A lot of people think that it's a good thing to have, because if nothing happens, then you'll get your whatever you've paid the premium to the insurance company, you'll get it back. How do you
Yeah.
view this?
I think screen is not visible now. The presentation is not visible. So
Okay.
Yeah, you just put it off, right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
can just
Acha, okay,
verbalize.
not an issue. Not an issue. Yeah. So, return on premium on term insurance uh, ideally satisfies our psychology only as a customer or as a prospect customer. Because if there is a term insurance, there is a premium for term insurance, there are charges for mortality. If you ask for return on premium, so the premium will be very, very near to double. And the additional premium, the second part of premium which you are paying just to get the return, that gives you hardly returns of 3-4%, which is even lower than FDs. But since Indians always ask what will come back to us if there's nothing happens, right? So to manage the psychology, these plans have come. I am not deselling
Interesting.
the
Very interesting.
plans of insurance companies, right? I am not deselling the plans of insurance companies, but as an individual, if I am a buyer, I would definitely go for only pure term insurance and not for the return of premium of term
So
insurance.
which means that basically we are paying for return of the premium ourselves. We pay the money and then get it back. So
Yes, yes. We make losses when we buy
we make,
a term insurance return on premium. We make losses.
we make
We
losses.
get less than FD. I would simply say
Oh, maybe less than inflation as well.
Maybe less than
yes,
inflation.
yes,
I think, Naresh, it's time for our second poll.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Share, please. Can we go ahead
Yeah.
for the second poll, please?
Yeah.
We have
So, the
interesting.
second poll is what lifestyle change cannot help lower your insurance premium? Stop smoking, stop drinking alcohol excessively, eat healthier, and or you can start listening to bhajans every morning. So, yeah, people are voting for bhajans.
Let more people vote, Shreya, before we give out the
That's actually a great way to start your day, but let's see what people vote for.
correct.
I'll engage the audience to please vote for the poll.
I think we covered this earlier in terms of everyone is concerned about the health insurance premiums, and the premiums have been inflating every year as we age and things like that with lifestyle issues. So everyone would be keen to understand what steps can one take to reduce one's premium. So here are certain steps which could please the underwriter or maybe not. So
Right,
depending on the
so here are the results for the poll.
okay. So there is one person who says eating healthier will not help lower
Yeah.
your insurance premium, whereas this is 20% of the audience. 80% believes that listening to bhajans every day will not really move the underwriter too much as far as premiums are
But
concerned.
yeah, but stopping to drink alcohol and having a more better lifestyle.
I think there is no doubt on that. Smoking and alcohol reduction or minimization is definitely going to help you reduce your premiums, right? So, Mr. Anil, what is the correct answer over here?
So what lifestyle change cannot help lower your insurance premium? Obviously, the last one.
Okay, great. Yeah, a little bit of a little in a lighter vein, but obviously we wanted to just gauge the audience understanding on
Yeah, yeah.
these aspects. Great. Okay. So that brings me to the last section. I think I'm mindful in terms of the time here as well. We definitely have to open it up to a few questions from the audience as well. Uh, Feel free to please put your questions in the chat box. Also, there's a Q&A over here. Either works for us. Kindly just type your question in the chat box. We'll take it up quickly. Okay. So last few questions to you. I think what I want to address here is a bit of conflict of interest. So, being a wealth manager, etc., we understand that the insurance industry, typically your insurance agents are compensated, you know, uh, maybe highest in the first year in getting new policies. However, at the time of renewal, the compensation does drop, in terms of percentage of the check value which is paid to them as commission. So what happens with this kind of a thing, at least theoretically, is that there is motivation for agents to always, look at getting newer and newer policies, maybe from the same policy holders, rather than pay too much attention on persistency, which is renewal of the existing policies which are there. You know. So I just want to understand what are the safeguards which are there in the insurance industry to prevent, maybe de-emphasis on the renewal premium or maybe overemphasis only on the first year premium. They're getting newer policies to the same clients. If some thoughts of yours could really help.
Yes, yes. So we will divide answer into two parts, life insurance and health insurance. In life insurance, obviously you get very, compared to renewal, you get very, very high payouts on first year premium. Uh, and on renewal, you get hardly very, very rare percentage, right? Reason for that is to sell a life insurance policy, an advisor needs to work very hard. Am I audible, Naresh? Can you please confirm?
You are.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. So, an insurance advisor needs to work very hard to convert a prospect into a confirmed lead, right? He needs to invest so much time and money to sell that particular policy to a client, or you can consider a prospect conversion into a client. For that, insurance companies incentivize him so that he does that. Uh, so first year premium for insurers also is not a profit making deal. First year insurance companies makes at least 40-50% losses, which they cover going forward from renewals. About servicing and life insurance, uh, insurance companies have their renewals team, which helps clients to manage their services. So people does not suffer even if advisors does not look into much of the renewal services. In health insurance, advisors do not get much high percentage into first year itself. They more or less get very similar to renewals because in health insurance, advisor needs to service the client, claims comes, right, and he needs to be fully engaged with the client. In health also, insurance companies have their renewal teams, which supports clients. Uh, so in health also, in first year premium, advisors gets little higher compared to renewal, but in renewal also they get decent so that they service the client. So in health, it does not happen. More or less, clients get services. So there is nothing to worry about it. And in health also, companies spend some 30-40% extra money on business acquisition in first year.
Great. So I think just two more questions from our side, and then
Yeah.
we'll open up to audience queries. So one from my side, which is basically saying that insurance is a business where there are grievances. Whenever my claim is rejected or it is denied, it is likely that I'll be unhappy about this scheme of things. At the same time, for the insurance company, they're wearing two hats. On one side, they are selling insurance policies, saying that claim settlement will be good and easy in our side. On the other side, they also have to decide on the claim, accept the claim, etc. So, is there like a neutral third party or a regulator or someone who basically comes in whenever there is a dispute between the insurance company and between the policy holders? Who should policyholders address their grievances, assuming that the insurance company is not able to satisfy them?
So so let's say if there's a claim rejection, which client does not agree or convince with the rejection, he can obviously reach out to grievance department of any insurance company or his insurance company, right? Grievance department looks at the case very carefully. They looks at a case considering in the mind that the client can go to ombudsman, right? So the final support for an insured is insurance ombudsman. But the grievance department thinks that this client, if has come to us, might go to insurance ombudsman also. So grievance department solves most of the problems of the insurance claims. If they are still convinced that the rejection is correct, then they again reply to the client that the rejection is correct, and then insured has still one more chance to reach out to insurance ombudsman, and from insurance ombudsman, mostly the decision goes insurance unless they have not done some non-disclosure or hided something.
Understood. So, Arun, you wanted the last question?
Yeah, sure. So, Mr. Anil, you've spent a lot of time in this industry. You've worked across various companies, various positions, and so on and so forth. How do you see insurance industry? What's your experience in? If you were to reimagine this, what is the difference, that you will do? How would you reimagine it?
So, first of all, I would try to do something to, stop mis-selling, which
Okay.
happens in Indian market, right? So if the thought is in my mind, I definitely I'll be doing something to avoid mis-selling, because that happens a lot in Indian market. And in that, sometimes clients are also making mistakes by being more greedy, by accepting the lucrative offers which are not real, right? So in today's market, also in India, telecalling setups are still doing good business because of the lucrative offers or because of the unreal offers which they give, right? So mis-selling is the most important thing. Second, we can avoid this by training the distributors. So in still India's 30-40% market is being covered by individual advisors who reach out to individual customers, and they sell policies. So if we invest more money or more time on training those advisors, those distributors, they'll be more trained, more cautious while offering the insurance to clients. That will help industry to have a genuine sales. And then we must have see, in today's time we must do something that youth get into insurance industry. So youth is not getting into insurance industry; they are simply not interested at all. So it is a challenge for all the insurers to get employees today, because the youth is not getting into it. So we'll have to do something. The youth gets interested, sees a good career in insurance industry, so that we have a good future leadership also. And investment in IT, obviously, to automate the services, whatever way we can. Today, insurers are doing it, but if I get a chance, I'll do something. I'll do invest more on IT so that the services can be automated, so that clients gets all kind of updates which they require in any kind of emergency, right? So and plus, tier 2, tier 3 cities needs to be covered. As an insurance industry guy, I would also admit that we have worked very, very less to cover tier 2, tier 3 cities, which we need to work hard. All of us need to work very, very hard to ensure tier 2, tier 3 cities. Government is looking at 2047 in complete India insured. So we all need to work into that direction, and we'll have to do something.
I
So
think,
these are the
yeah,
insights as of now.
yeah, thanks, Anil. I think that was very great points. And you mentioned about, by 2047 under Viksit Bharat scheme, we should have full coverage of India under insurance. And I think that's one of the reasons, government has now made 100% FDI into insurance
Yeah,
companies. I
yes.
think they also want to bring a lot of investments and all of that. Yes, so point well made. Naresh, I think we have a few questions. I think we have some time for Q&A.
Yes. So I'll quickly just read throughout. First question is from Mr. Sunil, where he asks group insurance through banks versus individual policies. Which are the benefits and maybe disadvantages of that?
Good question.
So from banks also we get individual policies, because those are master retail policies, right? those policies have very, very low premiums. That's why we, as an individual, gets attracted that we can buy insurance through bank. But those policies have a lot of sublimits disease-wise. Those policies have co-payment on your each claim. Those policies have cappings on rooms and ICUs. So we definitely get the sum insured equal to our retail individual policies, but the coverages are not similar. In an individual retail policy that covers you without any sublimit on any disease, that covers you without any capping on the room rent, that covers you without any co-payment. So ideally, when there is an emergency, you get better results in individual retail policy rather than buying from a bank.
Great. And just the last question for the day, and this is from one of our regular participants in all past webinars. Welcome, Mr. Balasubramaniam. And good question from your side. At what age is term insurance a non-starter for senior citizens? I think as India is aging, similar to other developing countries globally, we are seeing the percentage of older population increasing. People for senior citizens beyond the age of 60 and all. So I think one common grouse which is there is not getting enough coverage or not getting covered at all by various of few insurance companies. If you can just help us understand this a little better.
So in term insurance, whatever is your age, let's say if age is 45 for an example, till what age you feel that you need to be financially secure. So it can be 60, 65. If a person is already at 60, 65, does he really need financial security for higher age of 70, 75, 80, right? So it depends on the individual at what age he feels unsecured financially. If he still feels that at 60 also he needs an insurance, insurance companies provides some insurance by approx 40, 55, some provides 58 also, right? But beyond that, in Indian market, there is no need because there is no financial unsecurity after age 60.
See, actually, I may probably ask us a little differently is that, as India is aging, even our average life expectancy is increasing, right? I
Yeah.
think it used to be maybe around 51 during independence. About a few decades back, it became closer to 60, and now I think it's closer to 71 for male and 73 for females. So, as
Yeah.
with advancement in medical science,
Yeah.
etc., obviously life expectancy is only increasing. And when that happens, clearly that insecurity is something which will persist for a longer time as well. So I think
Yeah.
if maybe one feedback we could give to any of the insurance companies
So
is
today insurer,
such.
so today insurers are providing term insurance till 85. Some are providing till 100 also.
Okay. So they are providing
So
insurance till the
policies
age
are
of
available.
85, till the age of 100. It was very
85
normal.
also, some are 100 also. Some are 100 also.
Correct. But the entry age in those will not be.
Will not be 65 or 70. Yes.
So the entry age is important when you enter.
Entry
Obviously,
age.
they
Yes.
allow you to renew till the age of 85 or 100, depending
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
that.
So entry
But
would be
entry age is
max you
important.
can consider 55 or not. Approx 2, 3 years here and there.
Okay. So 55 plus. Okay. I think that's a gap.
Yeah.
Because I think definitely there are more people who are would like to take even other at more of their later ages as well.
And some of us who are now progressing towards that age needs to start planning and taking some of the insurance. Sure. All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Thank you. So yeah, I think we are coming towards the end of the session just in time. Thank you so much. I would like to thank the audience to very active and taking part in all the polls. Thank you so much for joining in and being a very active audience. Thanks, Anil, for coming on to our webinar as a knowledge series that we've been doing continuously once in every 15 days or so. And also telling us a lot of points. I think if I were to say a couple of points that would be my key takeaways is that taking an insurance, definitely be transparent and transparently share everything when filling the form. Spend that 10 minutes because that could later prevent a lot of issues from happening. So thanks again. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining in. All the best. Have a great day ahead.
Ruchir, hi. You have any to add?
No, nothing. I think Arun has said it. A very good evening to everybody, and thank you, Anil. for a very
Thanks.
informative session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Pleasure is mine. Thanks
Thank
to everyone for
Bye.
listening to me.
Thank you,
Thank you.
audience.